सर एक पैसेज इसी से मैं शुरू करना चाहता हूं। वक्त से जुड़ी डिबेट के मूल में तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति है, पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ अपीजमेंट है। ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति कोई नई नहीं है, इसका बीज हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम के समय ही बो दिया गया था। आप सोचिए, भारत से पहले, भारत के साथ साथ और हमारे बाद दुनिया के कई देश आजाद हुए, लेकिन कितने देश ऐसे थे जिनकी आजादी की शर्त विभाजन थी। आजादी के साथ ही वो टूट गया। भारत के साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि उस समय राष्ट्रहित के ऊपर सत्ता का मोह रख दिया गया। ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी एट द राइजिंग भारत समिट लेस देन 24 आवर्स अगो।
आनंद, आई थिंक जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है, nobody could have summed it up better than what he's done in a very polite, very subtle manner, which has, of course, very crude connotations. And since you raked up this, I'll ask you to give me 2 or 3 minutes because I have always had very strong views on this. And I have gone on record, in fact, I have written a number of times, also said once in the parliament, that the partition of the Indian subcontinent was possibly the greatest blunder in the recent history of the world. और एक बड़ा मूल प्रश्न ये है, nobody raises this, who asked for partition? There was no public demand, there was no yearning in any section of society. It was just the ambition of two individuals, Nehru and Jinnah, because you couldn't have two prime ministers in a single country, so they carved out one each for each one of them. And the British Empire made the best use of this ambition of theirs to divide. In fact, Mountbatten initially had another plan, to divide it into 3 parts. Hindustan, Pakistan or Princesstan. Thankfully, thanks to Sardar Patel, he didn't let that happen. But जो बुनियादी सवाल जो कहीं नहीं बोला जाता वो ये है कि in fact, while the so-called political protagonists of Pakistan were demanding an Islamic state or Islamic nation on the basis of two-nation theory, the common man, even in the Muslim community, was opposed to it. There was a forum of the Muslim intellectuals and Muslim writers called the Progressive Writers Forum, जिसमें साहिर भी थे, जिसमें कैफी भी थे, मोहसिन भोपाली भी थे. They had actually very vehemently opposed the idea of partition. So much so that, and in fact, even when this happened, they were so disgusted that they had no hesitation in writing about it. फैज़ अहमद फैज़ वहाँ चले गए तो वहीं थे लाहौर में, तो वहाँ से उन्होंने लिखा कि ये दाग दाग उजाला ये शब गुज़ीदा शहर, वो इंतज़ार था जिसको ये वो शहर नहीं. When he saw the riots happening. And Sahir went to Pakistan actually, but he stayed there for about 2 years. I think somewhere towards the end of 1949, he came back, very disgusted. And he wrote immediately, "ए रहबरे मुल्क बता, ये किसका लहू ये कौन मरा?" And then later on, a few years later, he went on to write another beautiful poem, which of course Raj Kapoor incorporated in one of his movies. जब दुख के बादल पिघलेंगे, जब सुख का सागर छलकेगा, जब अंबर झूम कर नाचेगा, जब धरती नगमे गाएगी, जिस सुबह की खातिर मर मर के हम युग युग से जीते हैं, जिस सुबह के अमृत की धुन में हम जहर के प्याले पीते हैं, इन भूखी प्यासी रूहों को एक दिन तो कर्म फरमाएगी. So what I'm trying to say is that in the immediate aftermath of partition saw bloodshed, displacement, the biggest ever exchange of populations happening anywhere in the world. And in the later aftermath, after a few years, it was food scarcity, poverty, a long spell, which even India had to bear. Under the same Prime Minister, who happened to be one of the protagonists of the partition, or maybe facilitated Jinnah's two-nation theory. And the two-nation theory itself, if you see academically, evidently felt short of vindicating itself. Varna Bangladesh na banta. The very basis, the East Bengal was made a part of Pakistan, was because of its Muslim population, which didn't happen. Then you wouldn't have this kind of disenchantment, discontent happening in Balochistan, which you witnessed today. Or even in the Pak occupies Jammu Kashmir, which of course was not a part of the partition. Redcliffe ने जो line खींची थी वो तो अलग थी. And that Redcliffe is itself a case study for you. You know, the story of Redcliffe, he was an attorney. Lord Mountbatten wanted a legal expert to do so. So he came here. He stayed there just for about 30 days or so in Delhi, didn't move out. But they say he was a great brainy guy. So he drew a line on a map, depending population ka study karke, and that came to be known as the Red Cliff Line. In fact, Firozpur ka hissa bhi katne wala tha. So then there was a rethinking कि साहब जम्मू कश्मीर बिल्कुल ही कट ऑफ हो जाएगा. And then this link came. And intelligent as he was, because I have with me about 500 books on partition, written by Indian victims, the Pakistan victims, those who went abroad and settled because there was a window period you could choose even a Commonwealth country. And of course, last month only one young lady journalist from UK has written a book on the families. And there are also books written by the British authors. And one of the British books mentions that when Redcliffe's task was over, he handed over his documents to Lord Mountbatten. He had at the back of mind that this was going to be disaster. So he wrote a letter to his stepson. He said, my task is over. I'm coming back before more than 1 million people rendered homeless come looking for my blood.
So he knew what he was doing.
Yes. But that suited Jinnah, that suited Nehru, and that also very much suited the British rulers.